camcorder?
Fine. Pony Express.
Stand right here by this sign again.
Take a picture of the house yet? There you go. Let me show you how to do one other thing. There you go.
No. What?
Do this. That make it the square bigger?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what you want. Here's how you make square bigger. Right there. And then you put this on green. So it'll give. Oh no. What's all that stuff on the front of it?
You need it off.
You can see it?
It's making a blurry screen.
Alright, you ain't cording, are you?
Yeah. Here, move that.
Come on, Andy. Now stay there.
Here, I can see my eyeball. What's that? Little bee.
Some kind of shot, a bird shot or something.
Daddy, I got hair, but
Look at this coat. This is a buffalo over 120 years old.
I'm thirsty, Dad.
We're going to get something here in just a second.
Boot Hill. Bones.
I guess I should read it. I took a picture of it.
going up the stairs. Whew. Wait, as
Yeah,
much
take
as
care of
Lindsay.
you.
Miss Mary. 1838. Is this really where they're buried? Henry. Now what is this right here?
This is Lily Miller, an infant.
He died when he was an infant?
Well, they were probably killed here.
They were killed here? Oh, poor little guy. Little baby infant. Look how small he was. Mm. A lot of people dead. $18.84. What? Was born at? So that's born in 1985. Well, helmet because I can. Man, it's hard to get through.
We'll get it over the
What a
top really.
early cowboy.
Yes, no.
Let's say no. But see, what I looked through is not what it's recording.
Oh, if you can get it, dude. got a Rambo place.
The masters are working overtime trying to get enough wagons out so that they have a product people can buy, and so they're using kind of green wood to get these wagons out. So 6 weeks out on the trail, and it's starting to warm up a little bit, and the wood starts to shrink, dries up, and starts to shrink. And so if they've gotten out on the trail and they've got some of this greener wood, at night they're having to take their wheels off, and they're having to put the wheels in some water, a river or a stream or something, so that they'll swell back up. And so that was one of the things that they had to think about too, is try to get seasoned wood if possible. But even then, as they went out on the deserts, if they were going, especially as they went on to California, they had some pretty dry area to cross, and these wheels would start to shrink. The wood would start to shrink away from the rim, and so to keep their wheel together for a little bit longer, they took strips of buffalo hide and wedged it in here just to keep their wheels together a little bit longer as they went on. But that was one of their typical jobs as they went along. Had a feed box. If you had oxen, you didn't really need to feed them grain. They were subsisting fairly well on the grass, but if you had some horses or mules along, you needed to feed them a little bit of grain, so you might have a feed box. Feed box also got to be used as a coffin sometimes. A small child might be buried in a feed box along the way as they came along. The wagon is over there is a Conestoga wagon. It would hold about 3 tons when loaded, and you needed 16 to 20 oxen to pull it. This wagon could probably a family could handle. It would need 6 oxen to pull when it was loaded. So if you had a big family, you didn't buy one of those. You bought 2 or 3 of these smaller wagons instead of a big expensive wagon. It would be similar today. Do you need to buy a semi, or would maybe a couple U-Hauls haul you?
A semi. Tell us
Oh,
about some of these.
okay. Well, this is the medicine, some of the typical medicines that they had along the way that they would have taken with them. This is castor oil, and they would have given that for diarrhea and vomiting. And let's do Jacob's ladder. You want to do Jacob's ladder? This is a toy that some of the kids on the trail would have done. So all you do is you hold it like this, and then you tip it. And whatever side the material is on, you can tip it. Okay? Then here's the ball and cup, and we'll get used. You want to do the ball and cup? Only you have to come over here so you don't hit anybody with it. Then you guys can trade, okay? And what you want to do is you want to get that in there. You can't do this. This is cheating. Okay? Don't do that. Okay. Okay, just hold it along the edge, and then this tips down, and then see when you're that side, that tips down. Down, down. Okay? Now, this is rose water, and rose water is soothing. If you had a sunburn, you might splash a little on, and it soothes the sunburn. If you get burnt cooking, well, you could soothe the burn. It also was used like it was a perfume. It is a perfume if the wild roses are blooming over there, and so they would take the rose and they would steep it like you would tea, and then it made a perfume. And sometimes when the smells along the trail became particularly bad, some of the more delicate women may have soaked their handkerchief and just held it up to protect them from the terrible odors. This is aspirin. They used it for aspirin. It's vinegar and a rusty nail. And they would take it, the liquid. And there may be some used to this. This may have worked a little bit. The rusty nail provided iron, and back in those times there may have been people may have been a little more anemic than they are today. So the rusty nail might have provided a little iron for them. Hartshorn, and that's a snake bite remedy. Quinine water was for malaria symptoms, fever and chills. Then they might carry things in glass containers, wooden containers, cloth sacks, and sometimes some metal tins or containers. And they would have had mint leaves, dried leaves of herbs and spices that they might have used to make poultices and other things that they might use for remedies. Then whiskey, some of them had whiskey along, and they used that either as a cure-all or preventive medicine, kind of depended on how you were feeling. If you were feeling good, take it to prevent feeling bad, and if you were feeling kind of bad, take it so you feel better. And then this is peppermint oil, and they would use this to aid in indigestion. Their diet, as they came along, had a lot of flour, a lot of cornmeal, some dried beans, and some rice, and those were and salt pork. Those were the major things that you took. And then of course you took things like dried fruit, apples, peaches, raisins. You took maybe some cheese to begin with. You had maybe a milk cow along, so you would have fresh milk. But a lot of your diet was salt pork. And so you might start getting a stomach ache after about 6 weeks of salt pork. They took it along. It wasn't, if they could catch fish, if they could get a rabbit for some stew or fry it, if they could get maybe some prairie fowl, they could have deer. And by the time they're getting out this far, maybe they're seeing an occasional buffalo and getting one of those, or as they go on a little farther, antelope. They would use that meat, but you could only use it a little bit. There was no way to really preserve it and keep it. So you would have it for about a day, and then it would rot, and so you would have to go back to your salt pork. And so that was kind of the diet at the time. Glycerin, and that was for chapped lips and hands. Citric acid, and this was a vitamin C source, and it would prevent scurvy. And they knew that from the English Navy and their what they had learned about using limes, and so they knew they needed a vitamin C source. And then turpentine, and turpentine was a medicine that had a lot of uses. The gnats are kind of bad out here today. If they got very much worse, I might take some and put it on my face as an insect repellent. If anybody has a bad cut, we could just pour a little in and it will start to dry the cut and start to heal it. And if anybody have kind of a croup or a bad cough or anything, well, we'll put a little sugar on a spoon, and then we'll put some turpentine on it, and then we'll give that to you for your cough or your croup. So you could do that. And then your animals also get hurt and get injured, and so this turpentine would be something that you might use with your animals too. Then they had lye soap, and they would have made this up ahead of time. There wasn't going to be enough wood ash. As they came out here, they're not burning wood at all. They're burning the buffalo chips, and we'll talk about those in a minute. But they will make up their lye soap ahead of time and carry it along with them. Along the way, they might stop at a trading post and buy a bar soap. This was called Crystal White. This would probably have been used for bathing and washing some of their more delicate clothing. But just their everyday clothing would have been washed with lye soap, and every day that they were out, and if they washed their dishes up, they might have used the lye soap. So the lye soap is pretty hard on their hands, so they needed a good source of glycerin too. Then we talk about the buffalo chip. Do you guys know what the buffalo chip is? Yes, ma'am.
It's dried buffalo droppings.
Yes, it is. And the people, some of the women who came along the trail thought it was really disgusting to have to burn this. But as they came across the prairie, there are no trees. I mean, no trees. By the river, no trees. And so there are a lot of buffalo that have been out on the prairies over the years, and so they've left a lot of droppings behind, or manure behind. And this is nice and dry, and so you guys, all of you, your jobs, you would have had aprons, or you would have had buckets, or you would have had canvas bags, and as you walked along beside the wagon, well, you don't have anything else to do, pick up the buffalo droppings, because you're going to need a lot of them. This barrel over here, every time we cook with buffalo chips, it takes us a barrel.
Water tower off in the distance. Kind of like going up on that volcano. Alley, because we're up high and in my building.
We're gonna go up to you.
Huh?
I can see it.
The big mountain. Woo! July 3rd, 1995.
Look, Mom.
What?
Camera down, look. Over there. Wherever my finger's pointing.
What are we looking for?
Those people.
Walking. Not the trail down here at the bottom, up halfway.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know what we was looking for.
Way over there. We're not, that's much you're going to see it.
Looks like a chimney. Right past that hill. We missed it. But see,
I don't think we-
we was going kind of southwest.
Yeah.
North would be back that way. That's got to be the east.
Hi, y'all.
What you do if you get it?
All right.
Bring it to me. Ooh, Indian smoke. Indian smoke. Girl, no, no. Oh, I got the one with 12 in it. Out of film.
shot camcorder.
No.
I got eyeball.
So do I.
I got eyeball. Chelsea, pick up the rock and let's see how far I'll go. Oh, it's hot up.
Why do y'all nestle under me?
Cause you're their mommy.
Gosh, it's hot.
Devil's Tower.
What they want to do is.
I stick those in the cabinet.
Oh, Dina, what about these clothes in here? These are gonna go right down here with all this.
Yeah.
I already got that on there. Dina, here you go, Dina.
Oh, Bobo. Will you look at that,
All
Mom?
the girls' blankets in the car.
The double tower. That's a double tower there. Oh no. Okay. Ah.
She wants some ice. Did you hear her? She wants some ice.
Here, Grandma, I'll get you some.
Ah, go.
Thank you, Grandma. Can you say thank you?
She wants another one for her.
One for the other hand. I should have known. Here. There we go.
Yeah, Mom.
What?
You know beavers?
Uh-huh.
They cut cut down trees to go across the rivers, streams.
Oh.
Mom, camcorder me. There.
Okay.
Camcorder me,
Anybody
Mom.
need this? Put it in the car or what?
No, that stays in there.
Mom, come pull me. Come pull me.
What is it? He's talking about.
Get ready.
Anyways, there's room for it in here.
Mama,
What?
can we watch the movie when we get in the car? Flintstones. No. I'm gonna watch the movie when Mom can.
No.
Yes.
We're gonna go up there.
What?
We're gonna go up there.
Where?
We're gonna go to the top of Devil's Tower.
We are? Lucy, she was standing by the road, so I took her picture. And Devil's Tower is in the background.
Who did? You?
Me. Lindsay. Oh.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
They all dirty. There's Rochelle's behind.
Grandma.
There's Chelsea reading her book. Sarah aggravating Rochelle.
Mom narrates.
There's Lindsay. There's Lindsay.
Bottle rocket. Bottle rocket. What you got in your hand? I got close. That goes up there.
Yes, there is. There's ones down farther too. And there's
Prairie dogs.
Can you take them? Wow. Of course, can you get to
look
them?
at him.
They're so cute. I want one. Of course, they just let you get one.
The girl.
Listen to it. What's that sound?
Them.
Them.
They're talking to you. Where'd he go, Larry?
They bite you.
Mm.
Do they? Did they bite?
Look at their ears.
Look, did you see that one? Yeah.
Aren't they fat?
Shh.
We like to eat that. Come on, let's go grab that one. You want to eat that?
Devil's Tower. Action, roll on. Custer's Cemetery. A little big. Yep.
That one, like ready. Try that one. Someone steals the cross. What are you doing, Dad?
Taking a picture of this battlefield here.
Of 1958, the remains of 3 men were found at the Reno Benteen Defense Site and also placed in this cemetery. The National Cemetery was first maintained by the Department of the Army. In 1893, the first superintendent arrived to closely supervise the cemetery estate. The first permanent structure was the round-stone lodge erected in 1894 to house the superintendent. In 1940, Custer Battlefield National Cemetery was transferred from the jurisdiction of the War Department to that of the National Park Service, Department of the Interior, and have been buried side by side in this national cemetery. Today, you will find over 4,400 veterans and their dependents interred at Custer Battlefield National Cemetery.
Oh, there's two right there.
I know, sweetheart.